Celebrate. Peter Jones is standing by live on the shores of Town Lake to bring us the latest from Aquafest. Hello, Peter.
Pat, if you can tell, we've got a nice breeze blowing off the shores here at Town Lake, so while it may be a little bit hot, there is a nice cool breeze blowing off the lake, so tonight, country night should be absolutely stupendous. Now, as you know, one of the big events in Austin is the raft race. And I think, while there will be a lot of activity tonight, things really got hopping earlier today.
Many of them arrived in the high style of Arabian sheikhs. Yes, for this group, 9 a.m. was time for a patriotic happy hour. Those rumors we heard about a Ghostbusters raft proved true. But hey, get a load out of the skipper.
There are so many ghosts out here, we've got our work cut out for us, but hey, we ain't afraid of no ghosts, you know what I mean?
We'll trust you with the green grocer, Marion, but I don't know about green slime. As launching time neared, this young lady had a final request.
Hi, Santa. I've been a good girl, and I want a Mercedes. Please.
No one could tell us what Santa was doing down there. No matter, the race was on. Although in some cases, the rafts were riding the people. And in this latter-day version of Jonah and the Whale, I think the whale is winning. Now, this entry was nowhere near the finish line, but it would seem they've already struck it rich. Yes, there's oil in that there river.
Now, for you environmentalists, that really wasn't oil, that was water. And here with the results of that long race, I think some people are still out there. Darlene Lewis from K98 Radio. Darlene, how did they finally wind up?
Well, we had, in the races, the first raft to finish in the races was 36 seconds. And the last raft is probably still out there, so we don't have the official time on that one just yet. But we had a lot of fun, exciting rafts out there, from everything from shark busters to belly busters to ghost busters, you name it. We had them out there today.
Rumor has it with the Ghostbusters raft, there was even some green slime slung at a few judges.
Yeah, the 24 crew slimed us. We disqualified them. No, just kidding. But we had a great time out there, too, Peter.
5,000 boats and no problems.
No. 5,000 participants. We had over 500 rafts in the race, but we had 5,000 participants, and we had a good time out there. It was exhausting. The wind gave us a little trouble there for a while, but for the most part, it settled down, and everything went smoothly after that.
Now, tell me, who did you award for the best creative
It
raft?
went to the Viking ship. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. I think they put a lot of work into it, and it really showed today, and they've got the best overall today in the raft race.
Darlene Lewis from K98, thank you very much. Now, later on tonight, this is country western night, so put on your boots and get ready to go out and dance your little night away. We've got some activities tonight, and who will be performing? Well, a big act. Tanya Tucker will be on the feature stage. There's lots of room over there, so please check that out. On the country and western stage, Carl Hutchins Band, and then over on the rock stage, that's where me and my photographer will hang out all night, the Cautious Dreams group. Over at the Beer Garden, another famous spot there where people like to go, Grimalkin, group called Grimalkin. Finally at the Austin stage, Nightbird, and finally over here on our Midway stage, which is right behind me, a group called High Exposure. So as you can see, we don't have much activity yet, but in about 30 minutes from now, things will open up, and if it's anything like last night, you know, I saw Mary Lou Retton win the gold medal. She did a terrific job. But there were still people out here. I think they just saw her win, and they come running out here to see Aquafest, and there should be that many people tonight. So that's it from here. Peter Jones reporting live from Auditorium Shores. Pat?
Okay, Peter, looks like you're having a lot of fun. Thank you. In Los Angeles today, police have arrested a man in connection with an Olympic bomb threat. Yesterday, police raided the man's house, finding black powder, detonators, smoke grenades, and an automatic weapon. Under arrest is 26-year-old Richard Cole, a licensed pyrotechnician. Cole is thought to be more of an explosives buff than a terrorist, but Los Angeles police aren't taking any chances. Cole is in jail tonight under $200,000 bail. Today, the fighting in Lebanon's second largest city has stopped, if only for a while. Last night, rival Muslim militias in the northern port city of Tripoli traded mortar and grenade fire that left at least 3 people dead. Most of the city's residents were forced to spend the night in underground shelters, but the fighting came to a halt early this morning because students in the city had to take their final exams before graduation. Does President Reagan have a secret plan to raise taxes or not? Well, Walter Mondale says the president has such a plan, and it's going to cost a bundle. However, the president says he doesn't have a plan to raise taxes, but says his opponent does. In his weekly radio broadcast, the president said Mondale would have to raise taxes by a total of $135 billion in order to make a sizable dent in the federal deficit. The president noted that's a tax increase of about $1,500 for every American household. As for his own plans, Reagan says he will not propose an increase in personal income taxes and will veto any such bill that comes across his desk. Well, today it looked like those rain clouds were surrounding the city for a while. Troy is up next to tell us what may be in store for us. Stay with us.
When you eat out, is something missing?
I'll have the special, juicy and rare.
Here, anything juicy is rare.
Then come to Coco's and taste what you've been missing. Like one of our 10 delicious burgers. Better because they're fresh. Or our garden fresh taco salad. It's all yours with a smile at Coco's down-to-earth prices.
More coffee? She doesn't miss a thing.
And if you love beef, you'll love Coco's new Beef Lovers menu.
This is story of how Slavovia team arrived to U.S. Los Angeles Olympics, driving through Texas Austin when Pomsky truck breakdown. Lucky for us, this happened in front of Hina Chevrolet, famous American car store. Oh, that me. He's lucky because Hina has Go with Winter sale now till August 13th. So many cars and trucks and sale tags. Oh, these prices not found in Slavovia. It takes no time to find new truck. Now, driving to Olympics in style, thanks to Go with Winter sale at Hina Chevrolet.
Okay, here's a question for you. What has a tail, weighs about 1 billion tons, and is heading straight toward us? Well, it's Halley's Comet, and some scientists at the California Institute of Technology say they've learned a little bit more about it. Even though the comet is still 800 million miles away, they've managed to take some pictures of it through a 200-inch telescope. Those photos show the comet is due to come closest to the Earth in February of 1986. That ought to be pretty nice.
It should be interesting to get a view of that, at least.
No, it comes around, I guess, once in a lifetime.
That's right. And February is a typically cloudy month. That's something to think about as we get a little closer to that in 1986, at least some type of forecast there, long-range forecast, if you will.
That's a long range.
Looked like we might have gotten some showers in the local area today, got off to the southeast, though, and they begin to die out. All a result of a very, very weak trough of low pressure along the Gulf Coast. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. Outside now in Austin, 5 o'clock temperature officially was standing at about, well, I can't tell you exactly what the 5 o'clock temperature was, but I can tell you there was no rain today. Today's high was 96 degrees. Morning low was about 73 degrees. And a quick look at your area lakes now will indicate a water temperature at Lake Travis to stand at about 85 degrees as of midday today. This is the way the satellite was shaped up this afternoon. And we'll start out this evening with the satellite picture. You can see the coastal showers and thunderstorms, a weak trough of low pressure along the coastal bend this afternoon. Spawn showers and thunderstorms. You can see these coming pretty close to the Austin area. This is a 4 o'clock shot, by the way, so it is a couple of hours old. But it gives you some indication, indeed, how close the showers and even thunderstorms came to the Austin area. Some heavy thunderstorms north of the Houston area. Also notice in north central Texas showers and thunderstorms. Notice a thunderstorm about right there. That produced a brief tornado that touched down out in Mitchell County, which is east of the Big Spring area this afternoon. No damage reported by the DPS, but indeed at one time that was a severe thunderstorm. Some thunderstorms back up the eastern slopes of the Rockies. A little closer to home on our 24 color weather radar, you can see off to the northeast and north of the city, back up north of Waco, back southeast of Waco toward Bryan College Station, some showers showing up. Some showers out in the southwestern portion of the Texas Hill Country also this afternoon. Most of the showers that were in the coastal bend are now beginning to die out as this daytime heating slowly begins to go away. It'll continue to occur. The showers should continue to dissipate, rather, as sunset gets a little bit closer during the evening hours tonight. Temperatures or rain scan. I've got everything all messed up tonight, but in any case, we'll try to step our way through it. You see all the showers that did form in that sea breeze front or along that trough of low pressure along the coast. Thunderstorms in north central Texas. The most intense activity, as it has been in the past few days, has been far to our east over portions of Louisiana and Arkansas. Around the World's Fair over New Orleans, they have had upwards of 8 inches of rain in portions of coastal and southeastern Louisiana in the last 3 or 4 days. That has been the response of that low pressure trough along the coast, and it has not shifted to the west very much. So indeed the heaviest rain has remained to the east of the local area, primarily over southern coastal areas of Louisiana. Temperatures at 4 p.m. this afternoon ranged all the way up to 95 up around Waco, 97 at Wichita Falls. Beginning to cool down around Dallas-Fort Worth. They did have a thunderstorm there this afternoon. Little Rock was getting a pretty heavy thunderstorm at 4 o'clock, as was Monroe in Louisiana. Elsewhere, you notice the temperatures are quite warm with lots of sunshine over much of the state this afternoon, exception being those rain areas. National weather this afternoon dominated by that very little actual pressure system problems, but we do have that trough of low pressure along the coast of Texas that is producing showers and thunderstorms. 87 at San Antonio at last check. Showers and thunderstorms have been very general, though, this afternoon, all the way from the northern and central plain states back into the Great Lakes and back into the lower Mississippi Valley. Temperatures over much of the nation are quite mild, not quite as warm as they have been with all the cloudiness and showers. 85 at Bismarck currently, 84 at Denver, 73 sunny at Seattle this afternoon on the East Coast, 81 at Caribou, Maine. It's 87 degrees around Miami. For Austin, this is the way it shapes up. Our forecast: partly cloudy, a few afternoon, evening thunderstorms. Probabilities are running between 20 and 30%. The highest probability during the evening and late afternoon hours. Continued hot. Low tonight of 74. The high tomorrow of 94 degrees. Winds will continue out of the southeast for the next couple of days. A little stronger during the daytime hours and stronger and very gusty in the vicinity of thunderstorms. In our extended forecast, how about partly cloudy skies? Pat, there will be a chance of rain each day, probably a 20 or 30% chance each day. For the most part, it will be partly cloudy, and that rain chance will continue to be very low.
Well, maybe we'll get some of that moisture. Maybe. All right, thank you. Danny Elsner is next with sports. He'll take a look at a local Olympic athlete through the eyes of his coach.
I love sports. My wife hates them, but I still enjoy them with Walmart's great low price on Polaroid videotape.
Polaroid videotape for 2, 4, and 6-hour recording is a fantastic low $6 every day.
At that low price, I can record all of my favorite programs and play them back later when she's not around.
Ralph, you've been in that family room a week.
Walmart's everyday low price of $6 on Polaroid videotape makes my day.
It's a better day when you save the Walmart way.
Explore Texas, it's the finest place to go. Explore Texas, there's some real good friends to know. Explore Texas, there's so many fun things to do, and Texas is waiting for you. Texas, explore the Republic of Texas.
It's time for a look at sports with Danny Elsner. Got some Olympic athletes from our area.
Well, a guy from Texas doing very well out there, but he could do better. Rick Carey, the only UT swimmer to ever win the gold, but he knows he could do even better. So does his coach, Eddie Reese.
He's going to be excited. He's going to pound the water.
Eddie Reese was excited, too. He and his family gathered around the television last night to watch Longhorn Rick Carey go for the gold again. But Reese saw his swimmer have another off performance. Oh, Carey won again, but his Texas coach said it was another funny race. Reese said Rick was simply not sharp in the 100-meter backstroke, but he was still impressed that Carey could finish first anyway.
A second gold medal for Rick Carey.
I thought his start was good, his turn was good. He just didn't have the little bit extra that he normally has. Now, Rick he's talented in a different way than we think of talent, or as I as a coach think of talent. I think of talent as speed. Somebody like Carl Lewis is talented. Rick is not fast. He just never slows down. And his top speed last night wasn't as fast as it usually is.
How do you think he'll do tonight?
In the medley relay, he'll probably make everything I say here wrong and just go crazy.
Now tonight, those U.S. swimmers could break the all-time Olympic gold medal record. The Americans have won 21 gold medals at the Mexico City Games in 1968, and they'll need only 4 more tonight to break that record. In basketball, the U.S. men had their first real challenge today. They battled Spain. The game stayed close until the second half. Patrick Ewing with the slam right here. He finished with 15 points. The United States trailed twice before halftime, but Chris Mullen sparked the Americans in the second half. He finished with 16 points. Michael Jordan led the U.S. with 24 points, 3 on this three-point play. The Americans handed Spain their first loss of the Olympics. Final score 101-68. Bobby Knight's squad still undefeated. In boxing, Americans continued to dominate as well. Here, flyweight Steve McCrory knocked down Fausto Garcia of Mexico. McCrory scored 2 knockdowns in that opening round, and after the second one, the referee stopped the fight. McCrory recorded a first-round victory. American boxers are still overwhelming their competition at those Olympic Games. What a punch. Tonight, the Dallas Cowboys will begin their preseason schedule against Green Bay. Danny White will start at quarterback, and Randy White is still not in sight. We'll have highlights after the Olympics. Also, the Houston Oilers will unveil their new quarterback tonight, along with their new head coach. Hugh Campbell will start Warren Moon when the Oilers play at Tampa Bay. In baseball, the Texas Rangers had trouble with the long ball in Boston. The Red Sox hit 3 home runs against the Rangers pitching, 2 off Frank Tanana. Here's one of them, Wade Boggs with a long blast, bottom of the 4th, and the Rangers go on to win.